We're here this evening with Dr. Mike Bogle. And we have some exciting news coming up. I understand we have the DJammy Awards that are coming up in April, right?
Yes, we are very excited. The 11th DJammy Awards will be April 27th. It will be at 12:45 p.m. at Dallas College Cedar Valley campus in room E126, which is our performance hall.
Awesome. And tell me, how did the DJammy Awards even come about?
I started this process 11 years ago. I think we had one category the first year.
Wow.
And just to inspire the students to create, to really put their best efforts into their projects in the classes that I teach, which is MIDI 1, which means musical instrument digital interface, and MIDI 2, and also Synthesis 1 and Synthesis 2, and we have an orchestration class, a composition class, and many other classes that support composing and producing and recording and releasing music.
Nice.
So I just really wanted them to, be inspired to get their music out there. As composers, we sometimes are a little timid about getting our music out there, especially in the beginning. We think, my music is, I don't know, maybe it's not that good, and besides, the teacher may not like it anyway, And you can always think of 1,000 reasons not to release your music. So that's the reason I made the voting all by the students.
Nice. So what's the process there? I mean, how do they even hear the music? How does that work?
Well, they have projects that are due for their classes, and so sometimes I just take those projects and enter them into the DJammy Awards. They can also come to me and enter things in the DJammy Awards. So the process runs from March 2nd until March 1st of the next year. That's the eligibility year. And as long as they release it between those dates, then it's eligible. And then we figure out which category it goes in, which is also an important part of the process for the students to figure out that there's all these categories of music and that they really need to fit into, some of them. As much as we all like to think, well, I don't want to be categorized, but for the music industry, it's kind of important to fit into some of these different categories. Now we have hip hop with vocals, R&B with vocals, we have jazz, we have film scoring, new age, indie, and we even have one category called wild card for just everything else.
And so who actually votes on these? How do you know who wins?
Well, the students vote, and the voting is going on right now until about April 15th. And I have a website for the voting, and the link to it is from my website, mikebogle.com. And there's a link on there to vote for the DJammys. And voting is being done by current students of our digital music production and composition, and also the entire commercial music department at Dallas College, Cedar Valley campus, and also alums of the program.
Nice. And what do they win? How's it funded?
Well, when I first started this many years ago, one of the first questions that my students asked me was, well, how much do I win? So I thought, well, what about the prestige? And but then I was like, okay, I get it. Money talks. So I started a nonprofit around the same time to support students of commercial music, teachers, and the community around this whole artistic endeavor we call commercial music. And also to support certain students with certain disabilities or disadvantages. And so we accept donations. We are a 501c3 charitable organization. And this year we're up to $100 for each category for the winners. We have 21 categories.
Nice. So, if somebody wanted to donate, would you be able to give more each year?
Yes, yes, I would love to see these the winners get $200, $300, $500, or even $1,000 per
Nice.
category. Wouldn't
And
that be
and
awesome?
what year is this? Is this the 11th year, I think?
This is the 11th year. That's right, and this is 2022. So yeah, it's really been growing. And I got inspired to do this also from my own background. I was I've been writing songs since I was a little kid, and my parents really encouraged me to do this, and I was able to get a scholarship to go to the University of Miami when I was finished with high school, and so I was thrilled to be able to study jazz, but I was also I wanted to do more though with writing, with popular music, writing songs, and releasing my own music. And that wasn't really part of the curriculum per se, even though it was a fantastic school. And I also went on to the University of North Texas, another fantastic college for jazz and classical music. But the idea of teaching commercial music in college is something more new, really, and something unique that we're doing at Dallas College, Cedar Valley campus.
I understand that you actually got nominated for a Grammy when you were quite young. Is that true?
That's right. That's right. I had just started my doctoral program at North Texas, and then I was able to. I became the manager of the 1 O'Clock Lab Band, and through that, I found out that the lab band had been nominated for a Grammy back in the 70s, in 75 and 76, but not since then. But they would make submissions every year to the Grammy Awards, and actually that became part of my job to make the submissions. And right around the time I started that job, in fact, the submissions were made by my predecessor. His name was Philip Brown. And he had submitted my song, Got a Match, for Best Arrangement. And the album it was on was called Lab 89. They were a couple of years behind in their production that year, so it actually came out in the eligibility year for the 1992 Grammys, which was, and man, when I got a call that I was nominated, I was just, I was blown away. Actually, a friend of mine, his name was Kevin McNerney. He's the one who broke the news to me because he was a DJ at KNTU, which was our campus radio station. And Kevin called me, and I think I was in my car. I had one of the that was in the old bag phone days in my car. It was like a cell phone that was like this big. But he called and said, "Why didn't you tell me?" And I said, "Tell you what." He goes, "That you were nominated for a Grammy." And I said, "I was?" And he goes, "Yeah, it says right here on the AP wire, not best arrangement on an instrumental."
Wow.
And I was just completely blown away, and it was the beginning of probably the happiest year of my life.
Wow.
And it was just so affirming as an artist and as a writer, and it was just so fun. And that's what I'm trying to give back to my students. I want them to be able to experience that.
I understand they're still playing that orchestration.
Yes, yeah. The song that I got nominated for, "Got a Match." You can hear it on my website and on YouTube and whatnot. It's the 1 O'Clock Lab Band version, and of course, Chick Corea is one of my great idols of all time. And
He originally wrote this, for three-piece?
right, he wrote it for his little three-piece trio.
Okay.
He played his what we call a guitar and bass and drums with his electric band, they called it. And I expanded it out to 20 pieces
Wow.
for the 1 O'Clock Lab Band. And it just really, I wanted to write it in such a way that it would continue to get played. As a writer, it's a lot of work to do an arrangement like that.
I can't even imagine.
And it's probably, hundreds of hours. And, you don't want it to just get played once and thrown away. So really, that was my goal. and it continues to be played a lot. I sold one recently to a band over in Japan.
Nice.
A lot of really top college bands and high school bands will play this piece.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, back to the DJammies. Can anybody come, and is it free? And
Yes, it's a nice big auditorium. We have lots of seating. It's free and open to the public. So please come to the DJammies and support our students.
fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.